the spotlight on Africa, trade, economy, development, and security. I actually will kind of give it over to our Honourable Minister of Information from Sierra Leone. First of all, welcome to our panel and to our discussion. As you know, we are discussing Africa and our ability, both with the challenges there is to be overcoming to reach our goals, and also what's your recommendations?
And we look at the statistics. Whenever we talk about development in African countries, the figures that bring us down are those which have to do with performance in the rural areas. So we look at a basic thing like the mobile phone, the cell phone, and the utilization of such an equipment for the purpose of developing our people. You spoke about, we are talking about infant mortality, maternal mortality. We are talking about agriculture in the rural areas. How do we use this modern technology to make sure that we beef up performance in the rural sector? For us, it is a very important component of our policy formulation to develop the people. The African person must be developed. But of course, the policies must be there. And again, the partnership must also be there. To us, it's very important. I'll stop so far. If there are questions, I'll respond to them.
For me, gender equality is very, very important. We need to give a bigger role to women. A woman will think about not only herself, but about the children, a neighbor child, about a country. And women, what is happening all over the region of Great Lakes is a humanitarian scandal. And I think as long it's happening, Africa cannot grow in a... Sorry, it's very emotional to talk about my country. Cannot grow in a very good way.
Issue of management, how we've been managing ourselves, how we've been mismanaging ourselves. A continent, somehow, that has not been able to do well for itself. We must be ready to take the blame ourselves. And that is what is going on continuously. People talk about exploitation. If you are vulnerable, if you allow people, you will be exploited. But if you manage yourself very well, chances are nobody else will come outside. So I don't want to just continue to talk about it, that Africa is there, the resources are there, people are out there to take it and continue. No, it's more than that. It's a continent that produced the Mobutus of Congo. It's a continent that produced Said Barre. It's a continent that produced Abacha, who took $6 billion of his own people and wasted it. It's a continent that produced Samuel Doe, that caused the problems of Liberia, Sierra Leone, and so on. It's a continent that is managing or continuing with a person called Mugabe, who took a country that was working so well, less than 2 decades, reduced it to a level where it is today. This is the issue. Failure, terrible, terrible failure of leadership that brought us to the level where we are today. Some of us disagree with it, and we feel that unless something is done about it, nothing else will work.
I know that the Global Fund has been challenged for many of the countries. And the challenge was really management and knowledge in terms of how to build your national health plans. At the same time, that really empowered the countries to have their own plans. I wish we had more global funds for agriculture, which is happening slowly, more general fund for health, that would empower the countries to actually own their plans. The management is key in anything we do. And that's why business is usually sustainable, because if it's mismanaged, the bottom line is not there, it doesn't survive. The governments are being chosen for a limited period of time and not necessarily for their management efforts or management skills.